Hello everyone. Welcome to Codeover Day number 4, 2023. In this video, I am going to show you how to use MuleSoft's Visual API Designer to create a ToDo API specification using clicks, not code. Yes, that's the title of this video. So far in the last 3 videos, actually, I have been kind of showing you this API specification from Design Center or from Exchange, but I haven't really gone through all of these to show you what it's doing. So I figured, why not start from scratch today? So I'm gonna delete this whole thing and I'm gonna show you how to do it from scratch. Let's go. All right, the first thing you need to do is to create a free trial account in anypoint.mulesoft.com. Ignore the rest of this URL. Just go to anypoint.mulesoft.com, create a new account. This will last you 30 days, but you can just create a new account with a different username using the same email, and you can continue creating free accounts forever. Anyway, you have this free account. You created it, you're here, and then you can either click here on Start Designing on the Design Center, or you can go in this side and click on Design Center from here. This will take you to Design Center. You can just click on Create from here, create new API specification, and here is the best part. So you can either select I'm comfortable designing it on my own, meaning that you know RAML or OpenAPI spec. You can select which one you want to use, or you can select Guide Me Through It to go through the visual graphical user interface to guide you through it without having to know RAML or OpenAPI spec. And it actually generates both of them. So you can, after designing it using the UI, you can select which one you want. I'm gonna name this My To-Do API. Guide me through it, and create API. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now I'm gonna take off my webcam just a moment. Oh, and also the frame, because I want you to see this part. It says here RAML and OAS. So basically, whatever you create is gonna get updated right here. For example, if I update the title to My To-Do API in RAML, this title will be updated to My To-Do API. Or if I go to OpenAPI spec, this title is going to be updated My To-Do API. So you can just select whatever you want from here and you can download it or you can edit it. I do not recommend to edit it directly because it will get rid of the UI and you won't be able to come back to the UI. So if you want to use this UI to base on to create your RAML or OpenAPI spec code, you can just create it and click here, download. So it downloads this file from OpenAPI spec or this file from RAML, whichever you prefer. So now what we are going to do is going to add the version. In this case, let's add 100 and the media type, which I want it to be application JSON. All right, that's it for now. Now let's create a new data type. So here, when you see here data types, you can just click on this plus next to the data types, and this will create a new data type right here. Let's name this ToDo. This will basically give me the basic structure of what a ToDo will be. We're creating a ToDo management API or whatever, the API specification for that design, right? So the base of everything is going to be a ToDo. So we'll create a ToDo object and we're going to tell the properties that it's going to have. So here, click on Add Property. This first one is going to be ID. This is required. And let me minimize this a moment. This type is going to be number. Then we add another one called title. This is required and this is a string. Now let's add another one called checked. This is required, but this is going to be a Boolean. Now here, for example, I can click here on details and say the default, I want it to be false. And for example, the example, I also want it to be false. Because when you normally create a new to-do, you haven't finished it, right? You are creating it so you can finish it in the future. So I want this default to be false. And finally, let's create another property called due date. This is going to be required and this is going to be date only. Now let's go ahead and start creating our resources to actually call this API. If we go here to the part where it says resources, we can again click on the plus sign right here, and this will create a new resource. In this case, we're first creating a resource called todos/todos, so we can add here all of the resources that apply. For example, let's get all of the resources, or post, so we can post one to-do. Let's start with the get. If we are here under get, we can go to responses, add new response. Let's leave this as 200, okay, but then on the body, if we click on add body, we want this to be an array of to-do, right? So the media type is going to be application JSON, but the object here is going to be array. And now if we click here on the details, you cannot see that. If we click here on the details, this will show you what else you can do with this object. In this case, we want here, it says items type because it's an array. So this is going to be of type to-do. We can also add some query parameters if we need to. So just go to parameters and add query parameters. For example, if you wanted to filter out the list of to-dos, you can create here some optional query parameters that you can use to filter this down. For example, all of this. We have title contains string. Notice how none of them are required. Is checked, boolean, from date, date only, to date, date only. So we can filter this out if we want, for example, to only show the ones that are checked or the ones that are not checked. If we want to search for a specific title, or if we want to filter down from a specific date until a specific date. Now to create a to-do, we want to use the post from here. And in the body, we are going to simply send a to-do object, which is going to go into the backend and create it. And then the response is going to be 201 created, and it's going to return the same to-do body that was sent in the request. That's it. But now let's create a nested resource inside to-dos that will basically, we already created. We can see we have to read a single to-do, update a single to-do, and delete a single to-do. So here, let's create a nested resource. And here we have to put a URI parameter. In this case, we're going to call this ID. So it's /todo/ID in between curly brackets. And then click here on the URI parameters, add URI parameter, and this is going to be called ID, which has to match whatever we have here. This is required, it is always required, and it's going to be a number because the ID that we created in our data type is a number. And that's all. This URI parameter will apply to any of the HTTP methods that you create here. So if we go, for example, to the get, we just want to respond with a 200 OK and return the to-do that we are looking for depending on the URI that was sent. Now to create or to update an existing to-do, we have to go to put. You can also use post or patch, but I'm just gonna use put. You can go to body, add body, same as we did before, select the to-do. And then in the responses, I'm gonna return a 200 OK because there's now like updated one. And the body is also going to be of the type to-do. Now for the delete, I am not gonna send any body because I'm just sending the ID. I think that's good enough. But in the response, I want this to return 204 no content. And I don't want anybody to be returned. I just want to say like, yeah, 204, this was deleted, cool. There's no more content because you deleted it. But we deleted it properly, so there you go. And that's pretty much it. That's how I created this API specification from scratch using this API designer, this visual API designer in Design Center. So now all you have to do is publish. Just click here on publish. This will prepare your API to be published in Exchange, and you just have to make sure that this says 100, which is the version that we're creating. API version is version 1, and we are gonna send it to stable, or you can also send it to development if you're still working on it, but note that you won't be able to use this API from Exchange to either scaffold flows or to use API monitoring, I think, or to use API governance or stuff like that. So if you just want to continue trying it out, then just select stable and you can modify it later if you need to. I'm not going to publish it right now. And also, if you need to update the version, as we did in, I think, the previous video, you can just go here and update from 100 to 101, 102, or 200, which is what we did in the last video. And once you publish, this will be appropriately updated. All right, that's all for this video. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.